Hey, it's Tuesday tea time with Dorina again. So I want to welcome you all to all those that are new to Tuesday tea time and those that will watch the replay. Welcome. All right. So we are presented from Women of Wisdom, which is a nonprofit organization that empower teen girls and women with practical wisdom and confidence. We're here to bridge that generational gap between the younger and the older generations because we need one another. Would you not agree with that? Yes, we need one another. Okay, so that's why we are here for you. Okay, there is a story behind that as well, and um, maybe one day I'll get the opportunity to share that with you. Okay, so tonight we are going to be talking about, let me show you. Our wisdom topic is discipline creates freedom. Okay, so I am doing a different tea tonight. I'm doing what is called a gourmet orange spice tea, which is a green tea. So green tea is said to be more healthy for you. So I'm doing it with a little bit of honey and that's it. So I'm not doing any creamer with it. So let's see. Tea time. I hope you have your beverages and you join us and fill your cup up with lots of wisdom tonight, okay? Tea time. That's not bad. Not bad. Not my favorite, but it's not bad. I think this is my first time trying out the orange spice. So okay. So anyway, like I said, have your beverages, fill your cup up with lots of wisdom tonight because our topic is discipline creates freedom. Okay. And okay. This topic goes out like buckshots. Okay. There is nobody that can dodge the bullet of discipline, okay? Because we all need discipline. We may not like it, but we all need it, okay? So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And let's see. Okay, so I want to tell you this that discipline can be a best friend. It can be a really good friend to us, one that brings positive habits in our lives, okay? So if we want to eliminate procrastination and minimize chaos in our lives, then the answer lies in exercising discipline to create good habits, okay? So we're going to get into that a little bit more and uh, we're going to talk about the benefits. There is benefits that come from discipline creates freedom, okay? And so right now, let's go ahead and look at the definition because you know I usually like to share my definitions with you of discipline. Okay, now check this out. Oh, now don't get discouraged if you having trouble in the area of discipline. Don't get discouraged because we all have to develop our discipline, we all have to develop in discipline. Okay. So look at the definition of discipline. Okay. An activity, exercise, or regimen that develops or improves a skill, behavior, behavior and order maintained by training and control. Okay. So that's what dictionary.com gives us that definition for discipline. So discipline creates freedom. So that's what we're talking about, okay? And so freedom can be now. Now you know what, I was a little surprised about some of the stuff that I found out about this my own self. But there's a gentleman named Jocko Willink, Willink or something. Hopefully, I'm not butchering his last name, but he written a lot of books, and he actually was a SEAL in the U.S. Navy, and so he wrote books about discipline. And one of the books he wrote is called "Discipline Equals Freedom." And so, I kind of looked into it, and uh, some of the discoveries that I'm sharing with you tonight came from some of his material, along with Leon. I think it's Leon Ho. And so, yeah, so we're gonna discover. Okay, so anyway, he mentioned this as well, and so I'm just going to kind of add what I got it out of it as well. Okay, so freedom can be a negative or positive. Okay, so negative freedom, they're connected with anxiety, insecurity, and depression. Isn't that interesting? Okay, whereas positive freedom will usually produce good habits and establish order, because we need order, good health habits, peace of mind, and security. Okay, so all of these things in our lives will add wisdom to our life and cause us to become productive people, to live a better, uh, you know, we want to live a better life, right? Don't you want to live a better life? Don't you want to have more, do more, and pass down some stuff to somebody else, your grandkids or your kids or whatever? So wisdom is something that needs to be passed down. And so we have to exercise discipline, and how we structure our lives, it will help us to produce more and have wisdom to pass down. Okay, so I don't know if you watched one of the previous videos, but I talked about well, you know what, we're going to talk about that, the butterfly effect. Actually, I'm writing a blog called the butterfly effect. And so, um, it just, the transformation that you go through from the caterpillar to the butterfly, is an amazing metamorphosis. And oh, wow. So we want to get from one side of the river, so to speak, to the other side, okay, where we can experience a greater level of peace and security, and enjoy life. Okay, I'm hoping that's what you want. That's what I want. Okay, so the best kind of freedom, I have my notes here, I'm sharing it with you. But the best kind of freedom is the one that allows us to achieve our desires in a fruitful and maintainable way. Okay. So it could definitely include boundaries and discipline. And really, when you think about discipline, in a simpler form, it really is just self-control. Okay. So let's look at the definition again. Okay. So an activity, exercise, or regimen that develops or improves a skill, behavior, and order maintained by training and control. Okay. So we have to train ourselves to like sort get up in the morning. When we get up in the morning, early in the morning, uh, that discipline creates the freedom of having more time. Okay. So these are things that we have to train ourselves to do because discipline, or let's talk about habits. Habits are something that is natural. We, it's natural for us to do that because we're in the habit of doing it. And so we need to change our habits. And whatever you do, try to look at discipline as being something positive. Because, growing up and everything, you think about discipline. We think about, when we used to get our behind whooped, or spanked or whatever you want to call it, it was painful. And so, but as we are, mature adolescents and adults, discipline is something that is a good quality and that we have to train ourselves to be that way. And then we can reap the rewards of being disciplined. Really, if you think about it, if you look at some people's lives, you can tell whether or not they're disciplined or not, or what areas they're disciplined in or not. And I had a lunch with a young lady today, and I was just kind of sharing this with her, and I was telling her one of my least favorites that I like to do. I work in the office, and I've done clerical, secretarial, administrative work pretty much all my life. And so the least favorite thing that I like to do is filing. Oh, filing. So I am behind on my filing, which means that I've been procrastinating on my filing. So I was, in my mind, I'm thinking, wow, I really need to get some type of strategy to get this done. And I was thinking, I don't need strategy, I need discipline, because you can have a strategy to do something and don't have the discipline to get it done. And so that's my area, at least one of my areas that I got to work on, to have discipline. So, um, yeah. So, anywho, what do you have to work on? We all have something, okay? So, discipline will teach us to conquer our weaknesses. Isn't that interesting? Okay, it'll help us to stop procrastinating, help us to train ourselves to develop good habits, and to creating with developing good habits will cause us to have more freedom. Okay, and um, in order to do that, we have to have standards, we have to have plans, we have to have good habits, we have to have tenacity, and to discipline our good behaviors. We need these tools. They're tools to help us win in life. Okay, that's really what I want to encourage you to win in life. And You have to have some things set in place in order to win. What comes to my mind is people that are athletic, that run track. They have to be disciplined in order to be fit to run and to have that mindset that I'm going to win. And, we have to have a mindset and a mentality to win in life. You know, I don't, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to speak to you. I don't know who you are, but I'm going to speak to you. Okay. You really want to accomplish your dreams and goals in life. And in order for you to do that, you have to have discipline in your life. And maybe you didn't grow up with that. I can't say that I really grew up in a real disciplined household, you know, and that's a start for some people. And sometimes it could have a negative effect or it can have a positive effect, depending on, you know, how harsh it was or not. But I want to encourage you to really strive to follow after the things that you want to do in life and to really believe in yourself that you are capable. And, because that just keeps coming to me, you must believe that you can do more in order to do more. Everything starts in the mind and how you think, and so you need to change your thinking that you can accomplish greater things. You can, even if you are not very well educated, you know, I know somebody that was like that. And you know what? They just started educating themselves. They went and got grammar books and mathematic books, arithmetic books, or whatever. And they just started studying them themselves. And I have one son that he wanted to learn how to play the piano, and he played another instrument, but oh my goodness, uh, he would practice every day until he taught himself how to play the keyboard. And really, that takes a lot of discipline to do that. But you have to have a goal in mind. You got to be inspired and inspire yourself and, believe that you are capable of doing it. And you do have the abilities to learn. We have the information all around us. We have access to libraries, and uh, we internet, and there's a lot of free schooling out there that will help you accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. So I don't know who that was for, but I really want to encourage you to really thrive for a better life, and don't live that life that you're hoping and a wishing that you're gonna win, the lottery. That could happen, but one in a million, don't depend on that. But you know what? You can depend on you and teach yourself, skills and learning to read more. And you know that is so important. I don't know, it's just keeps coming to me. And so I just want to, really um, stress that point that that's something that you really just need to do. Okay, so let's move on to, let me share this with you. Okay, doing whatever you want is not real freedom. Okay, it brings short term gratification that brings us to a dead end. That is a trap. Okay, so some people think that freedom is just you get to do whatever you want to do. No, that's not what that means, because remember I said there's positive freedom and there's negative freedom. And negative freedom connects with anxiety, insecurity, and depression. Because when you don't have boundaries, standards, or some type of control in your life, then you have a lot of disorder or chaos in your life, and that opens the door for fear and insecurity and depression. And some of it is just because deep within you in your subconscious mind, you know that you could do more than what you're doing and you're settling for less. And that will cause you to become depressed because you know you're not you're not doing your best. You know what I'm saying? Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better's best. And keep saying that to yourself until you start accomplishing some things in life that you want to accomplish. Don't settle for mediocre. Don't settle for what everybody else is settling for. There are great abilities inside of you. Open up your capabilities and explore the greater things that you can do in life, because there are so many things that uh that or let me say this, there's so many opportunities out there for you, and you will never know they're out there until you get out there and try to discover them. And so, you know and you have to have that discipline in mind. Okay, because you don't want to be a scatterbrain. You don't want to be somebody that can't even control their thoughts. you know you have to have discipline to be able to even control your thoughts. So like I said at the beginning, discipline can be our best friend. It does not have to be a bad word, or it doesn't have to be punishment. It is self control, learning to control, to have order, and to be productive in life. How does that sound? Okay. Okay, you know what? Discipline demands strength, courage, and resilience. Okay. It will not accept weakness. It will eradicate our weaknesses. Oh, that's good. What am I saying? I'm saying that to eradicate means to utterly destroy, okay, those weaknesses that are associated with bad habits. Okay. And wow, that is powerful. And we can put those things uh, in practice and exercise them and build them up till they become natural to us, because habits are natural. Okay, let's take a tea break. Tea time. I think it tastes better after it's sat for a while. Hmm, that's pretty good. Okay, so I want to share with you what Leon Ho said. He said that freedom through discipline requires you to break bad habits. Freedom through discipline requires you to break bad habits. Okay? So discipline creates freedom. Can you see that? Yes. So discipline, just to give you a few examples, discipline to wake up early in the morning gives you more free time, okay? The discipline to save money will give you money for a vacation, okay? Discipline when you exercise gives you more freedom to have energy, okay? The more we exercise, we gain energy in that, and it takes discipline to exercise. When we discipline ourselves in our eating habits, it frees us from illnesses, okay? Because if we eat properly and we have good eating habits, it will eliminate a lot of illnesses. Because I was just listening to, I don't know if you know who Dr. Gundry is. I think I'm saying that right. But he was saying that a lot of our problems comes from our gut. And I don't know if you ever heard this before, but some some people, excuse me, some people talk about the gut brain, you know, because a lot of the issues that we had come from our gut. And he was talking about how even our skin, how our skin radiates, how our hair grows. Naturally we know that eating right helps us to develop a healthy body, but he was talking about, people don't realize that, you have to have a healthy gut. But in order for you to have a healthy gut, you have to have discipline. And so I've been working on disciplining myself in that area of eating and you know, some other things that I'm working on. And so I encourage you as well to start working on some areas. And like my friend Tashara said, just pick one. You don't have to try to start a bunch of stuff all at once. That is oh man, that's what's the word for that? You know, you're you're bound to fail, okay? And when you do that, that is so discouraging. And so I want to encourage you as well to just pick one thing that you can start exercising your discipline or self-control and build that up and reward yourself. Now I'm not talking about with pastries and things like that. Just because you may have developed good eating habits and then go and hog out on pastries. That's not what I'm talking about. There's a way, a proper and more healthier way to reward yourself uh, for changing your lifestyle. And you want that to become a lifestyle change. Okay. Okay. So, like I said, doing whatever we want is not freedom. Okay. And you don't want short-term gratification. Who wants short-term gratification? It only lasts for a while and then, it's gone. I'll be honest with you, I had got caught up, at one point in my life, I was caught up in drugs and that short gratification, oh my goodness, you can become addicted to that. And then, like I said, it's a dead end lifestyle. And so it is a trap with short term gratifications. You want something that's going to be long term and that you're going to uh, produce fruit later on that's going to be effective in your life, but not only yours, but somebody else's, because people are constantly watching us, okay? And you don't want to get caught up in the I coulda, woulda, shoulda lifestyle, because that can be used as an excuse lifestyle. We're excusing, why we didn't do this or because I coulda did this, I shoulda did this, I woulda did that, but that eliminate that one out of your vocabulary and start, finding words to encourage yourself to be a disciplined person so that you can experience the benefits of having the freedom that come along with that discipline. Okay? We need order in our lives. And if we don't have order in our lives, that means that we have chaos in our lives. Okay. And so order in our lives cancel out chaos, and discipline brings order and frees us from chaos. Okay. So can you see that? Can you see how um, discipline, let's go back to that. Discipline creates freedom. Okay? So be encouraged, have tenacity, write down your what your values are, your core values are, write down some standards that you have. These are principles that you will not cross or you will not give up on. You know what I mean? I mean, myself, you know, I have certain standards that I'm just not going to back down on, and you know, regardless to whatever anybody else does or what they don't do, that is not going to change, me from walking in the standards that I have. And one of them is that I refuse to allow myself to get into arguments with people and that arguing over nonsense. You know what I mean? You know, there's a level, come on now. We are adults and we should think like mature adults. Do you know that there are adults out there that are still fighting each other, physically fighting each other? Come on now, we need to grow out of those type of lifestyles. And if that person wants to act ignorant, and ignorant only, ignorant means, a lack of knowledge. It doesn't mean you're stupid, it means a lack of knowledge. But if people want to live that type of lifestyle, that does not mean that you have to. And if they want to argue with you about stuff, there are some things that are not worth arguing over. And you know what? I pick and choose my battles wisely, and that is a standard that I live by, and I am not, backing down off of that for anybody. And if I did back down, and lowered my standards, I would be the one choosing to do that myself, not because somebody else made me or encouraged me or provoke me, I still have to choose for myself what type of behavior, I'm going to display. And we all, have that choice. And so I'm saying that to say that, I'm not I'm not doing that. Um, even though I could choose to do that. But what I'm saying, if I chose to lower my standards, do you know that that would cause me to become depressed? Because what I did was I went against my own personal convictions. And when we go against our own personal convictions, whether it's, because of somebody else or not, it causes us to become depressed because we know better. And our conscious mind is, um, convicting us and saying, hey, that's not who you are. You're acting out of character. And then when we act out of character, then, our whole body is affected. Your body will give you signals that something's not right. You can be around people and you can, your body, you can feel something's not right. Your body is actually telling you that something is not right. And we actually need to pay attention to that and discipline ourselves enough to recognize that, okay, something in our environment is not right, and that comes through having order in your life. It comes through having standards. It comes through planning, and all these things are related to discipline and creating freedom in our lives, because you can be free from a bunch of mess, a bunch of chaos, illnesses, and drama, okay? Because you do not have to live that type of life. Okay. So, anyway, that's what we have for you tonight. I hope that you have gained some wisdom out of the things that I've said. And more than anything else, put these things into practice. That's where practical wisdom come from, is putting the wisdom into practice. And when you do that, you will build confidence, okay? And that will propel you and encourage you to do greater things in life, okay? Let me share with you, next week we are going to be talking about follower to leader, okay? Follower to leader. And what that means is, oh, we got somebody that made a comment. Let's show that. Hey, Keon said, very informative. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, so, you know, follower to leader, I found out in life that in order for you to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. And if you can't follow, then you can't lead. And what I mean by that is, and I'm not talking about following deadbeats, okay? I'm not talking about following deadbeats in life, okay? But following good leaders. If you are a good follower, you would follow a good leader, and then you will become a leader. And really, if you think about it, follower and leader is um, a phrase or whatever you would call it that will stay with you for life. And you would grow, constantly grow, if you keep following and keep leading. Good followers equals good leaders. And so that takes humility. And so it can happen if you want it. And that's what we're going to talk about next week. Okay. All right. So I want to thank you for joining us tonight to Tuesday Tea Time with Dorina. Yay. And so remember, as I have said always, she says, you're welcome. I want to make sure I put that out there. As I say always, remember, Dorina loves you and walk in wisdom. We'll see you next Tuesday. And share this video with your friends. Invite those to come and gain wisdom. Okay? Good night.